Hello everybody, Rev.Hawksblood here. I want to bring a couple topics out in the shortest amount of time as I can. I will be promoting a couple shows that I'm doing, and basically these topics will be covered greatly in those shows. The show is Spiritual and Beyond. It's on Freedom Slips Radio. It's freedomslip.com. I am on Friday mornings and Saturday mornings. Alright, the first title is Ego. There's multiple ideas what ego is, what it isn't. Most teachers will say you gotta let go of ego. Alright, all I'm going to tell you, ego is basically who you are in the physical body. Soul is separate than the physical body, which is the ultimate of what you really are. But as soul, it comes into the body, it's blocked by mind, and the ego is kind of what communicates the mind to soul and soul back to mind. Right? You need it. You can't get rid of it. If you think you can overcome ego, which multiple speakers are telling people to do and say they are, guess what? You're not doing anything. Anything you do is a competition and oh, well, that's ego. If you say you're better than somebody, every sport, every hobby, you're trying to say you're better than somebody. So is that ego? Is it bad? No, you need it to survive, to move forward in life. So the first thing I want to say, all those people that think they let go of ego, don't use it, you're hiding in a box. Just by you saying you let go of ego, you still have it. Ego is you. And it's always going to be a part of you. When it gets bad, you start hurting people, oh, then it's ego? No, ego's always there. It's just like everything else. You have to learn how to control it. Sorry for the noise. We've got heavy rains coming in right now. Alright, the second word is spiritual. How many people know what the word means? People are programmed and conditioned to believe spiritual means a certain thing. The dictionary's definitions of these words are pretty lame. But spiritual, thinking that one is spiritual, what does that really mean? When you become spiritual, what are you really doing? What are you really bringing out to people? What are you really giving them? Alright. Spiritual doesn't exist in the physical world. I know you're not going to believe that or understand that at this moment. If it did, the world would be different. It would be totally different. But the idea of spiritual, like, well, caring and compassionate and loving and all those things, that doesn't make you spiritual. Spiritual is a connection to the highest source, power, energy, which is truly God. All right. That's what spiritual means, and that the spiritual means the connection and the awareness of that. Spirit itself is that energy that flows out of God through all these worlds into you. And many people get that mixed up with soul. Soul is the individual of who you are. And you will never lose that. People, well, once you touch the oneness and you all become one. One with God, there would be no separation, meaning there would be no difference in thinking. And why would there be anything else other than that? It wouldn't need all the little things, all the different worlds, all the different universes that exist. People don't think from a reality of real thinking. They think from programmed ideas and minds and programs that have been left here thousands of years. Alright, again, spiritual means connection to the highest, meaning God. All right, and when you're aware of that, you think and know things that nobody else knows. And it's not that, oh, I touched this or that. No, its soul becomes aware of what it truly is. By having an out-of-body experience is when you prove to yourself what soul truly is. Without that, you will never know. You could read and study and listen to people. You will not know what soul truly is until you let go of the physical body and are standing on the other side of it looking back at it. Usually that starts off in the astral body. And that's another place you don't want to stay, but I'm not going to go into that. I want to get into two other things. First of all, the world is being contaminated by child abuse, sexual abuse. And it's escalating in so many ways, even in the other countries. What's happening, even in Tibet, all these things are growing, escalating, way out of hand. If you think Sodom and Gomorrah was a bad time, we're worse than that now. Way worse than that. It is time for people either to realize who and what they are, or get sucked up into the abyss, or whatever you want to call what's going to happen to the planet. All right. The other thing that I want to bring in with this is called radiation. Fukushima is a disaster, and it is destroying the planet, and it will destroy a large part of the planet. Radiation just doesn't go away. Unless some really good alien race, which I don't believe in, will come here and say, puff, it's all gone. It didn't happen all through history. Mankind has been pretty well wiped out a couple of times because of their own ignorance, and we're at that place again. If you look at Revelations, we're in it. You can't say, well, nobody knows the time, place. No, we're in the place. If you look at all the fires burning around the planet, all the disasters, storms, hurricanes, hypercanes, the tsunamis, everything, the earthquakes, and it has never been this bad with earthquakes in the Ring of Fire or the United States in the past 100 years. So where are you? You're in a serious position right now to take a stand of who and what you are and what you're going to do about it. That being said, you don't have too many choices. And with government control, and they're going to have to take control as these things start happening, you're going to lose less and less of who you really are. So what I'm going to suggest is the first and most important thing you need to learn right this moment, right this second, at least start figuring out the way you're going to go about doing that, is what you are as soul. Because no matter what happens, no matter what disaster happens, or what comes your way, you will still be that, even if your physical body dies. It's not dream world, not dreams and illusions like, oh, I'm going to be sitting with all my family. I don't want to get into that. That's such a lame idea of sitting there with your family. What are you going to do? Sit there and talk about what? Didn't you have enough of that here on this planet? You're going to do it there forever? No, it doesn't last forever. The astral plane is a temporary place. And for most people, it's a very short place because they reincarnate back into this world. With the radiation hitting the planet right now, the world is in serious trouble. And I'm not really worried about adults. They're too programmed, too blocked, and everything else. Even Jesus says, I come here for he who have no faith. Meaning people that were ready to accept something different than the programs. If you have a program, it's running in your brain, it's going to be really hard to erase that. Especially if you don't want to. And if you're not willing or really looking to do that. So, in the interim, the radiation that's going to be hitting the West Coast and then hitting parts of the world already is going to be destroying children's realities, making them sick and contaminated. Never mind all the food that they're going to be eating. The adults, again, most of them are too late to realize this a little more than what they think they know. All these people that say they're spiritual, channelers and speakers, please come out and say something to the world that might be important, that can help the human race in any way, other than everything's beautiful and aliens and angels and everybody else is going to save us and make everything perfect and make us six-dimensional beings. So these are the topics that I'm going to be dealing with greatly. I'm going to bring different kinds of people on my show to keep interest, because I know people don't like to hear the truth, or they really don't want to. And I will give little pieces of it as much as I can in between the speakers that I do bring on. That's freedomslips, with the plural.com. Spiritual and Beyond is the shows that I do. On Friday it's 1 hour, on Saturday it's 2 hours. I do Blog Talk Radio, I do a couple half-hour shows there too, but I'm going to start bringing more attention to the two really important shows that I have. So please, if you want to become aware, want to become awake, want to become real, want to become true, want to know what the truth is, want to deal with real reality other than dreams and illusions and fairy tales, please come into my show. Listen, there's a chat room. You can go into the chat room. Not that people talk about anything important in the chat room, because I've been watching it all the time, and everybody goes into what they want. But the show, I will be trying to guide it. The people that I bring on, I'll try to bring them into the truth that I'm trying to get out. Even though everybody has their own little truth that they think they know and want to bring out to the world or deal with, there's a real truth, the ultimate truth, and I say it's either your truth, their truth, my truth, or God's truth. And there's only one that matters, no matter what you think, believe, and it's not your truth. So with that, please, I'm not getting into anything in great detail, but my show is open for the public, and I do want people to come in, call in, write in, email me, text me, whatever, and I will talk about the topic, and I will also debate anybody on any one that they feel that they think they know something that I don't. Please. Time's running out for the world in a lot of ways, not like 2012. Look at the planet. Look at what's happening. Wars, destruction, planes crashing, planes disappearing, the battles in the sky, which very few people know about. There's a lot of things going on. Every disaster, 200, 300 people get taken out in an hour or a day, whatever. So if you read Revelations, whether you believe in the Bible or not, it talks about the end times. Please tune in, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the chat room and putting some questions out there. Hawksblood1, AOL.com is my email address. Feel free to email me. I'm not like anybody else. I only deal with truth that I have experienced and proven to myself, and it's easy for you to prove the same thing to yourself if you try. So please, this isn't the ball of roses and flowers and everything else that everybody wants it to be. This is the real world. This is not an illusion like some speakers say. It's not a make-believe place. It's not a TV screen that you're watching. You can create and be active in the game while you're here, and you should be. Otherwise, there's no reason to be here. So with that, I send out my love and hope you listen to what I'm saying. You don't have much time. If the radiation hits the East Coast first, they will declare martial law. When that happens, there's going to be major disasters going on inside the United States. And before we get to there, people need to be at least ready to do something with their lives as far as understanding what's happened, not hiding from it. You still have children. If you have children, no children, think about them. Well, you can run, but you can't hide. And my truth is, it's better to burn out than to fade away. It's important to go out in your truth than in somebody else's. Till next time, Kaddish Day.